Welcome to BSP's FFs. Disclaimer: this is a complete work of fan fiction. Baby, you hummed in response, and he moved towards you to see what are you doing exactly. When I'm also your husband, give me some of your attention as well. His voice came out raspy and louder than before, making you flinch. As you immediately look up from your lap to scream towards him, who was setting his wrist watch. Yes, what happened? I have been calling you for the last 5 minutes, man. I'm sorry, Jungkook. I was so engrossed in work I didn't realize. He was getting angry due to his short temper and extreme anger issues, but size. You remember we have an important function to attend in the evening. Why not stir him for a good few seconds? See, I knew you didn't remember, aren't you? One bit her lips in a thin line because he totally forgot about it, and he was right. I'm working in a very important project these days, Jungkook, and I just didn't got the time. I want to call you, but I'm running late, so just be ready on time, he drawled harshly. Before leaving, Wayne didn't fail to notice a little rudeness in his voice as she sighed heavily and moved her attention back towards her laptop screen. It was 6 when he returned back home and found Wayne roaming around in the house, still wearing her nightclothes. You're early, Wayne mumbled, staring him, who was already coming towards her direction. His predator gaze stared her intently, making her almost shiver on place as she nervously bit her lower lip. You're not ready, Mrs. Gion. Why? He murmured, pulling her closer towards him as she placed her hands on his shoulders. I was actually waiting for your command, dear husband, she replied softly before placing a don't play with fire kitten, her whisps in her ear before her yelled up slightly as she felt shivers of ecstasy and thrill run down her spine. Fortunately, your wife is icy cold water heavy. She knows how to extinguish your fire. He smirks, that's what he loves about her more than anything. Her confidence and sassy remarks of his every word as he cupped her face and creased her jaw with his thumb lightly, both of them never breaking their intense eye contact. You always make me insane for you. He left near her before backing away because they both know if they initiate now, I won't let them end in any good situation because they can't resist each other. Let's get ready. One was taking in a room while Jingu took a bath in guest room. He was blow drying his hair when she came out. Doris meet in mirror and he, with closed eyes, watched her smirks. They both have been married for a year now, but still everything with them was like a newly married couple. I want to everybody who stare in your direction tonight. He grits his teeth while one suppresses a smile as you make a circus face and narrows her eyes to him. I remember I have to tell you something, he frowns, but signals her to continue. So, Mr. Chen Jungkook, you're not going to anyone around in party who talk with me, stir me, or touch me. Unless it goes over the board. We knew his anger issues and his extremely over-possessive nature, and it was common for him to want able to hold back if someone tried to be close with her. His eyes darkened, hearing what she just said. He walked towards her, his eyes darker green from edges. That's not possible. You're not my girlfriend anymore, Emma. You're my wife now. And your protection is my responsibility. Moreover, I'm a selfish person and I can't share what's mine. Keep in mind and just tell me yourself how could I let anyone around touch what belongs to me. He almost growled, making her flinch. She never saw him raising his voice on her, not even once, even though he's a short-tempered person. I'm just saying to not them, Jungkook, she stutters. He was a mafia, and she know someone was not a big deal for him. And when it came to his girl, his very own wife, he was overly possessive in her matter. Fine then, he also have to follow some of my rules too. Okay, she replied in small voice, almost incoherently. So, Mrs. John Wayne, if you want me to follow your rules for tonight, you're not going to wear any kind of dressing party tonight, and also maintain a fair distance between you and an outsider. It could be honestly appreciated, wifey. No, he almost rolled. Oh damn, he's looking with raging face and these popping out visible veins. She snapped out of her thoughts, realizing what was she thinking in such a tense moment, and fake off to focus on whatever he was saying. If you violate even a single rule, then I'll do the same. Keep in mind. I'm fine. I'm okay with them as long as you follow my rules. Well then, deal. With that saying, he left the room, raging in anger, when this Rolls Royce with a sigh. Do you mean a mistake? Maybe, or maybe not. We were completely fine just a few minutes ago. Oh god, but anyways, I know that would I possibly do so to shrug it off. And came downstairs the hills, making a sound and marble floor, screaming to get attention. That's what exactly happened. Jing, who was on a call, looked up towards her. She was wearing a deep v-neck maroon colored gown that was hugging her all curves like a second glove. Not but attractive enough to gain everyone's attention. His eyes darkened slightly, but he didn't react like a madman as he walked towards her and pulled her closer, pulling her from waist. You're looking incredibly beautiful, Mia. He assured her, and that predate gaze yelling, I wanna. Bipolar, she muttered underneath her breath, while rolling her eyes playfully. Unable to control her beak, she teased, and he gave her a mad glare. His earlier rage didn't fully subside yet. One was not in the mood to fight, so she just hauled his bicep. Let's sleep, she murmured softly. After you will give he bowed, swinging her smile as she slightly tiptoed in softly. But before she pulled away, he took her in a one just let him. However you want. Pai was going in a blast, for meeting different kind of people to meet different family members. It was actually more humongous than she'd have thought. One of Jung's friends got married recently, and this party was practically held just for the show of his wife and his wealth. One was walking beside Jungkook the whole time. It's not been an hour yet, and Jungkook seems pissed. God knows for a reason. I know not no reason, but she have clearly understood his change of expressions. But what she didn't know is she have unintentionally given more attention to his business partner while talking instead of him, and that was. But he didn't said anything to her, just not yet. One excused herself after fighting his change of demeanor and went towards. She ordered a fruit juice and started silently. Our pretty queen is standing alone. Where is your possessive puppy, Mrs. John Wayne? She chuckled slightly, facing him. He was Jungkook's business partner and a good friend of him as well. They have met earlier in party too. Queen is actually having her own time. She raised a glass, he smiles. Want to join? Of course, pretty all mine. He sat beside her on stool as they both start talking randomly. But what she didn't know is her husband was burning in anger and jealousy, sharing her with someone else, and the earlier person whom she gave more importance in front of him was also none other than Hyan. When left my side and everything was completely fine until Hyan went towards Hyan and sat beside her, making me burn inside. I don't know why Wen was giving him more attention than me. He clenched his jaw. Hyan said something making Wen laugh on his words and Jingu grit his teeth. It was just one step away before he lashed Hyan's in anger. A famous fast swallow was stirring wine from time to time while talking with another business partner and laughed on something, and then he put his hand on one's shoulder and fury blinded in my eyes. On the other hand, one immediately averted, feeling the intense terror burning her back. God, she already knew whom he belongs to, and then her eyes widened when he put his hand on her shoulder. She remembered Jungkook's earlier warning very well, and she knew he was being calm and sane from the time being, till she was sitting and talking with another man. But she herself knew how hard it was for him to control himself in his first matter. She saw him coming from his periphery from the side of her corner, making her almost shiver in place. Knowing Jungkook for more than 4 years now, she knew how much possessive he is for her, and its end. As much as she don't want drama, he's not going to leave her too. God, please save me, she prayed in her brain. But I need to save this poor man besides me first, she murmured in her mind, and pushed herself away from him without getting awkward and noticed in a swift, natural motion. As his light turned towards the side, her eyes met with rage felt and gaze of Jungkook, and she felt shivers run down her spine. With each step, she was literally trembling on her place. God, please save me. That was the only mantra going in her mind as she cautiously started moving outside, making him more angry. As soon as she reached outside, she took a sigh of relief, but before she even got the chance to smile in triumph, a hand in her ruffled between her arm, making her gasp and eyes wide. My kiddo loves to play with fur and then be chased, isn't she? His chin in her ear, his nose straining her neck, cheek, anger and fury radiating from him. One felt cold shivers on the intensity of his each word, but instead of being scared of him right now, it was exciting her more as she purposely bit her lower lip, eyes on him while making sure he noticed her every action. Don't whine, he warned, and lovely when he have to be dominant at the same time mantra in her mind. She is more concerned with passengers with being honest, she was feeling a bit better now, knowing they are all alone and she was under his mercy. Can we get there? He raised a broad and dangerous look, never leaving his face. We will. I'm not a patient person who will till we reach home, and you. Show him to learn a lesson. But went down and she immediately went inside, staring around her room as if it was not an intense situation or they were on a vacation exploring new place. Clearly, this action. One on the other hand, one was pretending to act natural, or nothing happens, or nothing will happen soon too. Well, they both know where coming next. Are you trying to play with me, kitten? Hiller growled, making me gulp a visible lump in my throat. His intoxicating husky voice was literally making me feel. Oh God. He took a desperate step towards me, and unwillingly I took a step backwards, biting my lower lip, the stranger look of hungry predator never leaving his eyes. I surely am now. God save me from this beast, please. She bouts. With jerk, he pulled her towards him as he twisted her arm and wrapped it around his waist and pinned her on the glass wall behind, while his other hand grabbed her in a possessive way, but enough hold to pin her in place and not let her move. Her eyes widened, realizing what he just did as she put her free hand on his broad shoulders in an attempt to free herself, but in vain. God, it's for me, felt his whisper when he hands wrapped around. She snapped her head to pay attention to what is important right now. As she urged her spine in an attempt to be confident, but that's impossible when Forkwart's meal is in front of you and a glare from him is enough to lose your confidence. Jungkook, what are you doing? She stuttered hard in nervousness, and her giant hand slips from her as he pulled her towards him still. Minty and musky breath was fanning her face and clogging her mind. That's very half-assed, you get in. He whispered in her ear as he bit her lip for a few seconds, grazing his teeth till he was satisfied. Rushed to her cheeks, breath was causing a tingling feeling on her skin as she closed her eyes in an attempt to take some deep breaths. What were you doing all day, baby? I didn't tell you to stay away from any outsider. From my ear to neck, and she held his mortality, his precious skin and sparkles right up to her body. Why were you perhaps jealous? One meant to stab herself. If I don't know why am I asking this such a situation. Of course it was man. We made rules before party, and I was the careless one. I started. He fulfilled his promise, and I failed. His anger and fury was acceptable, but I never She sighs. With these words already left from her mouth, and now there is no turning back, his eyes turned darker, making her regret immediately. And why I want her more? Her heart skips a beat. If you forget the relationship, I would love to remind you I'm your very own husband, Malta Whiteton. He whispered huskily, caressing her cheek. Gosh, his Italian accent. She groans with sigh. She knew she had already messed up, and she was not going to get his money go anymore. Cool, fine. It was not honestly my intention. I was just juice, and then he came, we said, and talking. And suddenly, out of nowhere, put his hand on my shoulder while laughing. Now tell me where it is my fault here. June cleared her as she unconsciously bit her cheek. Baby, I know you're mad at me, and only I can calm you. So he narcisses, as if how hidden, precise or be specific, please, when annoyed. Now, but he seems a little calmer than before, now totally enjoying her giving up. As if her good thinking can cook. Words escaped her lips, and he is ready, and even before she completed her sentence, he Una's wide in shock. She was trying to respond. Drew her closer, and she gasped. And taking the opportunity, he and take her to kitchen completely. Respond him in the same pace. She tapped her shoulder for a few minutes when she was sort of let and he started her jaw, her collarbone, leaving his territory behind. He looked at her, who was held now as the gaze ignored the blue-purple. Satisfied smirk covered his face. Look at yourself. Materializing there, she put her in more embarrassment than shyness while he with closed eyes because her aversion was making her beast of us more. Tell me something. Was it intentional? She shakes her head as no. But still, you're going to learn a good kitten. So be ready to use for next week. One guest. And thanks for watching, everyone.